Hello everyone and welcome to this review. Today I'll be reviewing Nightcrawler, a 2014 crime thriller drama directed by Dan Gilroy, a director in Hollywood known for other movies such as The Bourne Legacy back in 2012. It's also starring Jake Gyllenhaal, an actor well known in Hollywood for movies such as Prisoners, Spider-Man Far From Home, and most recently Roadhouse with co-star Conor McGregor. This movie was quite good. I liked it a lot, although I do have some nitpicks, of course, as with anything. I'd like to first mention the ratings. As of this review, it's showing a 95% critical rating amongst critics on Rotten Tomatoes and an 86% score from audiences on Rotten Tomatoes. It's also showing a 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb. Now that being said, the discrepancy between audience and critic scores to me makes a lot of sense after having watched this film. I believe this movie is a lot more catered toward critical viewing rather than casual enjoyment amongst general audiences, and I'll be diving more into that in this review. So the plot of this movie. Throughout the story, we follow Louis Bloom, a driven and morally questionable man who kind of falls into the world of crime journalism in Los Angeles. With a little crappy camcorder, one of those old things you had in the 90s that you held up, he starts filming crime scenes, and selling the footage to local news stations. As he chases more and more shocking stories to sell for more money, he kind of pushes the ethical boundaries around journalism, doing whatever it takes to stay ahead. His ambition leads him down a dark path, darker and darker throughout the film, raising questions about media ethics and the price of success. Obviously, I don't want to spoil anything, but I'll keep it as vague as that for this review. Now, a callback to what I said earlier about the movie being more catered to critics rather than general audiences. I think a big part of that was the use of the tools when it came to lighting and camera work. Specifically lighting when it came to the streets of LA. There was always this harsh, dark, low lighting that was following us through the film. I think it really helped emphasize the tone of the movie, but also our main character's descent into the darker side of journalism. As the film progresses, you're just constantly feeling a sense of dread. It's at times very depressing. It's a slow burn. So again, from a critic's point of view, that's technically amazing what they did with that. And it really conveyed, again, how you're supposed to feel in terms of being there with our main character, Lou Bloom. Another tool was the use of camera work. Similar to the lighting in this film, the camera work is technically great. I'm reminded of the close following shots where we're behind Lou Bloom as he sneaks up on his next story, where we feel like we're almost following him and we're in the movie with him as we proceed down his path. Another use of camera work was the zoomed in shots of Lou's face. There are repeated times through the movie where we see him very up close and we see every minute expression, and that really helps us feel what he's feeling and joining him in his disturbing perspective on the world. And that actually is another thing about this film, is the performances. Jake Gyllenhaal's performance in this movie is a 10 out of 10. It's an easy take to have, everyone's saying it, but it is objectively the truth. His performance is outstanding. If you are someone who wants to watch a movie just to see an actor become the character, this is a great example of that, and that's something I really enjoyed about this film. To summarize this review, this movie would offer a lot more if you look at it from a more critical perspective. Major themes are explored, such as power and success and the moral/ethical breaking lengths people will go to reach those things. For me, this movie dragged a lot in the first two acts, and only in the third act did it really get going, where I was actually entertained. I like to separate the critical from the more entertainment-focused perspective. While this movie was entertaining at times, it didn't necessarily deliver, and it wasn't something I'd recommend to my girlfriend on a movie night, for example. If you are a fan of the crime thriller genre, please give this movie a watch, but if you're looking for something more general in the thriller genre, I can recommend other movies such as The Prestige by Christopher Nolan. To me, this movie was a 7 out of 10, and please keep in mind that is just my opinion. That's a review. Please give a like, drop a comment if you have any thoughts, and as always, thanks for watching.